Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Risha, and in this video I'll be sharing my interview experience of IIM Shillong. But before that मैं अपने बारे में थोड़ा सा बता देती हूँ. I am a design graduate from National Institute of Fashion Technology, Kolkata, and so I am a non-engineer. And after my graduation I have around 26 months of work experience, and I wrote CAT in 2022, and I'll be getting into a college in 2023. So yeah, let's get into the video. Before that, I just want to clarify a few things. This is not a channel where I tell you how to study and how to prepare for CAT. It's just my journey. I'm just here to tell you about my experiences. मेरे साथ क्या क्या हुआ, मैंने क्या क्या face किया, मैंने क्या क्या resources use किए, and that's all. I might just document my journey throughout my MBA life, and I'm not here to preach anyone. So that's all. Yeah. So my IIM Shillong interview was held in Radisson Blue, Dwarka in Delhi, and I had the morning slot. I had to reach the venue around 8 a.m. in the morning. So as soon as I reached the venue, हमें एक hall में बैठाया गया. वहाँ पे we got our documents verified, and after that we received a SMS on our phone जिसमें हमारा panel number and serial number was there. पैनल नंबर और सीरियल नंबर मिलने के बाद वी वर टेकन टूवर्ड सेपरेट रूम्स जहाँ पे हमारा जीडी एंड पीआई होना था. सो मेरा पैनल नंबर 5th था और आई वॉज द 4th कैंडिडेट टू बी इंटरव्यूड दैट डे. रूम में जाते ही पहली चीज़ ग्रुप डिस्कशन हुई थी where we were given a case. We had like 5 minutes to read the case, and then we had to speak in favor or in against of the case. So now group discussion in IIM Shillong interview is just qualifying. So आपको एक minimum marks उसमें होने चाहिए just to qualify for the next round, and you don't have to have there's no merit as such in when it comes to the group discussion part of the interview. After the GD we came out of the room, and वहाँ पे chairs लगी हुई थी. We could sit. जिनका number initial में आता है वो वहाँ पे बैठ जाते हैं. Like the serial number 1, 2, 3 can sit there, and rest of the people can just go into the bigger hall where there are refreshments like tea and biscuits and coffee. Though I was 4th in line, I decided to stay there just to see the interview experiences of other people and how the panels are, what's their mood, and what is that they are basically asking. Now let's jump into my interview experience. So there were two panelists. First one was in his mid 50s, and the second one was in his mid 40s. Both were male, and after the interview I checked, and both were professors of IIM Shillong. So let's refer the panelists as P1 and P2. So P2 came out and called my name. I entered the room, we exchanged some usual greetings, and then P1 asked me to take a seat. At this point of time, I could see P1 looking through my form, and then he asked me, so Risha, you are from fashion technology, right? To which I said, no sir, my course was fashion communication, which deals with subjects like graphic design, fashion journalism, etc, etc. He nods and then says that you have worked my company name for 2 years as a creative designer, right? To which I said, yes, I worked for their B2C brand, which is called the name of the brand, and as a creative designer, and I just listed out some of the roles that I played at my company. Then he asked me about my company, that what do we do, what business are we into, what is our target audience, questions around those lines, and I explained it. Then he asked me that is fashion communication related to apparel or not. I explained him how the course is related to more branding and communication, and not particularly clothes and fashion in general. Now at this point he says, are you defending your work experience by saying that your course is not related to apparel or clothing? To which I said, no sir, that's not actually true. If you see the subjects that I had in my undergraduate, they were actually not related to clothing and were more into like branding, marketing, communication and all that. He just gave me a smile and we moved ahead from there. Then he said, you did a project in your final year, and what was that about? So in my final year, I had interned with CII, IIM Ahmedabad, which is their incubation center. And I just explained him the team I worked with, the job responsibilities that I had at that point of time. And he looked sort of satisfied with my answers. Then he specifically asked about my job roles in my previous company. And I told him how it revolved around branding and packaging. And he asked me about the key elements of packaging. At that point of time, there was a Bisleri bottle kept in front of me. I took it and gave the example of the label that was put on the bottle, and I explained different elements in it and how something are put on some place. Then he asked me that what if Bisleri decides to sell sanitizers? How will this bottle differ, or how will the label of this bottle differ in that case? To which I said that, sir, they can change the shape of the bottle, or play around with different color schemes. To which he says, no, it's the exactly same bottle and the exactly same colors. Then I tried to explain by saying that they could change the wordings in front of the bottle, and they could also play around with certifications and different small elements of the bottle. Then he goes on to ask, what if Bisleri decides to sell alcohol in the same bottle? Asked, are we actually allowed to market alcohol in India? To which I said, no, sir, we are not actually allowed to directly sell alcohol. Companies that do sell alcohol do it in the name of sparkling water or some other product of the company. And in case of alcohol, we could use some other wordings. I gave some answer to satisfy whatever he was asking. Then our discussion went around surrogate marketing for 1 or 2 minutes, and then he asked me, are you aware of some recent news that went around Bisleri? I knew it, so I told him, yes, sir, it was acquired by Tata Group last year. And then he further asked whether Bisleri was an Indian brand or not. And I said, yes, sir, I think it was. He further asked me some questions around social marketing and the Darwaza Band campaign of Anushka Sharma. Then he asked me how something that you design for an online platform is different from what you design for a packaging and stuff around those lines. Then he looked towards P2 and said that he was done, and P2 took over from this point of time. Now P2 asks me to tell me about my undergrad subjects, and I told him. And all this while he's looking through my mark sheets of every semester and looking through, skimming through the subjects that I had in there. He asks me about this subject called design methodology. He asked me to explain the process, and I was doing that. And he interrupted me and said, what is the difference between design methodology and research methodology? I told him it's been a very long time, but RM basically dealt with the process of writing a research paper, citations, and everything along those lines. Then he went ahead and asked about my hobbies, to which I said I like writing and reading. I was reading a book at that point of time, and I explained him what the book was all about and gave him some examples from it. He looked satisfied, and then he says that I think we are done. There was a bowl of Mentos kept on the table, so P1 asked me to take one from it if I want, and I took one Mentos from it. While I was getting up and arranging my documents, P1 asked me that did I quit my job to do an MBA? I explained him, and he nodded. I said thank you, have a good day, and left the room. Looking back overall, I think it was a very good experience. I did answer a lot of questions. I did fumble in a few of them, but I think that's okay. And that was my IIM Shillong's interview experience for you guys. Do consider liking and subscribing to the channel if you like my work, and I will see you in my next one. Thank you and bye bye.